All right, and while we're continuing our change over here tonight, I know we just heard a little bit from Taters, our previous host, about some of the important things in the event tonight. I want to take a moment and talk to you about the incentives that we have still going on this evening and into tomorrow. The next incentive is going to be The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Grab Majora's Mask while blindfolded. That incentive closes tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, so that's going to be pretty early in the day for the show. So if you're interested in seeing Breath of the Wild with grabbing Majora's Mask, take a look at that donation available through Tiltify. Next, we're super close to a Super Mario World incentive as well. Quickie World 2, how about a round of golf? Tomorrow is also going to be happening a little later on in the day. We're getting pretty close on that one, too. Only $1 and a little bit more away. So I hope we get that one covered tonight so we can definitely see that tomorrow. And then tonight, to close out the show, we have some prizes that we're going to be giving away as well. First of all, there's a Tunic Perler, which is absolutely adorable. You can find all of the prizes on the Speedrun Hall of Fame website. The Tunic Perler depicts the hero from Tunic, holding his trusty sword high, ready to do their duty. Day 2 incentives will also be, this is the day 2, I'm sorry, my apologies. Day 2 incentive will be a $20 minimum donation to get in the lottery for this awesome Perler. It's super adorable. This Perler was made by Kinda Nerdy Housewife, and Kinda Nerdy Housewife also made the Ninja Gaiden Perler and the Mario Power-Up Perler Magnet, so check those out. And this evening, we also have 2 paintings by The Renaissance, which we'll be able to be giving away as well. And the really neat thing with this is it's only a $20 minimum donation to place one entry, and there's going to be 2 prints given away every night this weekend on the stream. And so if you love gaming art and you love decorating your game room, make sure to check out the awesome paintings available from The Renaissance. I know I have one. In fact, hanging on my wall at home is the Link to the Past one, and it's one of my favorite pieces of art that I've ever collected. From the chat tonight, I see we have 7 Castle Forest using that Kirby emote. Well, donate, it says. Thank you for the hype, everyone. It's good to be here. What a ball this is. We're switching over our tech support in the background right now, so it's going to be just another couple minutes while we wait things out to get the stream back up again. If you'd like to hear more from me, I'd be happy to tell you a little bit about the Speedrun Hall of Fame. The Speedrun Hall of Fame is an establishment designed from the ground up to allow speedrunning communities and their peers to vote for, elect, and cultivate a positive, inclusive, and complete gallery of the most important speedruns of all time. The Hall of Fame wishes to remember those who came before us, those of our peers that rise up above the crowd, and we honor them the best way we can while raising money for various charities and by engaging with the community to ensure a clean and transparent election process. You can find out more about the Speedrun Hall of Fame at speedrunhalloffame.com. All right, looks like we're ready to go with the next run. So I'd like to take a moment and introduce our next runner, Shredberg, who's going to be running Super Meat Boy. Take it away.
Okay, I
I think you're good. Sorry about that,
couldn't hear
Shredberg.
anything
I
on
think
my end. I'm
we
gonna
did it
assume
again
I'm
on
good.
We're all good to go here now. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Take it away when you're ready.
Great, thank you so much. Hello, everybody. I'm Shredberg. This is Super Meat Boy. As you can see here, how to play. We're gonna just we're gonna not hit saws. We're gonna get Bandage Girl. The third one we can ignore because we're doing any percent. So we're not gonna get those. So I'm gonna explain while I'm going. So I'm just gonna do a countdown of 3. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. Super Meat Boy is a indie platformer. Came out 2010, so 12 years ago now. Doesn't seem that long ago, but it is. As you can see, for the most part, pretty straightforward in terms of gameplay. We're just going to be running, and we're going to be jumping, but there's plenty of crazy things along it. Like right there, I pause the game and then unpause it really quickly, and that's a thing called auto jump, so it lets me jump every single frame possible, which, as it sounds, would be pretty fast. You might think, oh, wouldn't you want to do that with every single jump? But it actually is a little bit less useful in those ways that it sounds, because, you know, obviously you're pausing the game and having to unpause it. So really, we're going to be using that for very specific things. Like right here, I'm going to use it at the beginning of the next level. I'm actually doing a thing called storage jump. So if you look very closely, I'm actually jumping off of the air there, and that lets me do a little skip. There's a fun little skip. This game in general is very fast. A lot of different skips, and this is any percent. So each of the chapters has 20 levels, but you actually only need to beat 17 of those to unlock the boss. So we can skip levels and go and do the quickest ones possible. So since we skipped 115, we get to do, oh my goodness, 118. I accidentally jumped over Bandage Girl here. I'm playing on Linux, which is a little bit faster, or at least it should be. But one thing is I have to exit levels using a backspace, which will exit a level no matter what. And so very rarely, sometimes I'll accidentally do that. But this is the first boss, Little Slugger. It is essentially an auto-scroller. We can go as fast as we can, but we just wait here at the end. And there's nothing else you can really do here. But any percent is extremely fast-paced. We're already 1/6 of the way through the game. It really does not slow down from here, but there's skips in, like, I don't know, half of the levels, really. There's, 85 levels, plus 5 levels, plus like 6 bosses, so almost 100 levels under 20 minutes. It's crazy stuff. Right here, we're gonna just fall down and then land on this little platform and do that. Normally wants to like go against walls, and just the whole time, every single level, we're not doing. Even levels like this, we're just going through it as fast as possible. I go to a corner there so that a fan, each chapter adds on new mechanics, and so what Hospital is going to bring on the second chapter is fans, and so those sort of push you towards the direction that they're blowing. So we're going to use those very carefully. They are probably one of the more difficult mechanics to really master, I would say. Maybe that's not necessarily true, but they kind of feel annoying sometimes. But yeah, so as I was saying earlier, where we only have to beat 17 of these 20 levels. Many times it makes sense to exit the chapter, but for Hospital, actually, we're just going to go 1 through 17, because while there might be levels that would be slightly faster than a level or two, I don't know that for sure. You do have to it takes about 2 or 3 seconds just to go. It's 3 seconds actually, but 3 seconds to go back to map and then choose a new level. So there is some strategy when it comes to routing that we will see actually in every single chapter but this one. This is the lone exception when it comes to just playing 1 through 17. Here I'm going to be at the wall when I touch Bandage Girl, and that's going to help me when I'm in the middle of the air jump off of a wall. Again, it's a thing called storage. It's going to come up in a level in a second. Again, where when you touch Bandage Girl, for the next frame of the next level, your position is stored. So like right here, I actually jumped off of the ground. That helps me do a cycle skip there. And now we're already at the boss of Chapter 2, and this is Chad. Chad has a big old skip, really like 8 seconds, but for Meat Boy that is a big skip. A lot of these skips save like a second or two. So right here we go and grab this key. Normally it stops and Chad goes back and forth, but basically we make it to where that screen never stops scrolling, and that saves about 8 seconds. One thing that makes it look a little bit easier if you're not totally aware of it is that I have to go off screen just a little bit in order to go and grab that key, but off screen just by a little bit more than the length of or height of Meat Boy is a death plane, so you don't want to go off screen, it will kill you. So it's actually quite tight when it goes in there. So we're already here into Chapter 3, Salt Factory. Oh, I missed the storage jump there. That one's probably the most obvious because it's the level where you're like an entire block instead of like a half block above the ground. This chapter probably has the most amount of skips in it, starting with 3-7. Well, actually, oh no, I messed up. All right, I'm cheap. This is one of these where that level I just don't know. I don't have any backups for a lot of these levels. Most of the time when you mess up in this game, you die. So it can be difficult to know what to do sometimes when you mess up like that. But right here, I'm going to go for a frame perfect skip. Let's see if I can get it. I'm pausing actually to... Nice. I'm pausing to make my momentum go in a very specific method. I'm not actually auto jumping there. I am making myself get a slowdown for exactly 1 frame. And if I get that, if I get a frame perfect jump right before I hit that conveyor or right as I'm hitting it, I'll slide up it. And so that makes me not have to go to the other side around it. And it skips a whole conveyor. So very quick. I need to remind myself to exit after this level right here. This is one where we're skipping 2 auto scrollers, 12 and 13, that are quite slow. But yeah, this is extremely fast paced. We're almost halfway through the run already. And we got 2 more big skips coming up here. This one's actually technically a skip as well, where catching the cycle perfectly just to not stop as we're climbing up. Here's a skip called Mono Skip, saves like 3.5 seconds, where we're gonna jump off this and we put direction into neutral until the perfect timing where you jump off of that wall. Oh gosh. This one is not good if you mess up. Those missiles will snipe you. Right here, there's like a hole in the ceiling that if you time this up perfectly, yeah, you'll just squeeze on through. And this is the last level of it. So for the boss coming up is Brownie, is casually one of my favorite bosses. But when it comes to speedrunning, we're just going to skip it. We're going to go across here. Remember how I said, oh no, I died. There's an example of how on the outside of a level you have a death plane. And so what I did there in order to not die, actually, if you jump off the wall normally, you're going to die. But I do something called a sprint jump, which... unlike how it sounds, I'm letting go of sprint and then jumping. It helps me stay closer to a wall so I don't die. And now we're going to go into what is the hardest chapter of the run, Hell. And you'll see why starting on 4-4, probably one of the most notorious skips for runners of the game, just because it's really difficult to master. Let's see if I do it. Hex skip. I'm going to do a jump where I want to do... It's very precise, and you have to press jump for only a few frames. Yeah, right there, I overjumped it. Let's get it next try. Oh, no. All right. If I don't get it within 4 tries, I'm just going to do it slowly. This is hard. There we go. Easy. First try. Yeah, and that's not the only skip in this that is extremely difficult. There's like 4 or 5. The next level on this 4-7 has a skip that I was going for a bit, but it's absolutely ridiculous. The world record does it, so if you're ever curious as to what the 4-7 strat Ricketts is, you can look it up. It's crazy. Right here, I have to carefully go over these lava barrel things. to do it. I was saying earlier where there's like a big skip for this game nowadays is like if there was anything that saved even like a half second, that would be huge. This level has like a strat that requires some really frame precise stuff and a little bit of randomness really. But if that strat on 410 were to be made consistent, that would be like 4 seconds, which would be huge. Moving on these eyeballs. One fun fact as I'm going through this, these eyeballs on Linux can disappear and nobody knows exactly why. It'd be big if it on this level. Let's go. Huge. That actually does save time. I kind of messed it up, but I don't know why that happens. Normally you have to jump like I did on the top underneath it, but it just disappears sometimes. If it was consistently that it disappeared, that would be sick. But it doesn't. One of the eyeballs there on the right can disappear on this one, but it doesn't save any time at all. Unfortunately, there's really only the one level in this category where it can save time. And yeah, this next level is a basically an auto-scroller. And the boss is... actually, I'll explain the boss really quick and then can read donations or something, but I'm just gonna stand right here and I'm gonna jump a couple times and that's it. I am completely safe. It is extremely
great. Thank you so much. We don't have a new donation to read right now, but I do want to just take a moment to remind everybody why we're here. Tonight, this run is in support of the charity NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for millions of Americans affected by mental illness. To find out more about their mission, visit their website, NAMI.org. I know that to me as a nurse, the NAMI Foundation is something that's really near and dear to my heart, as well as my profession, and I'm delighted to be a part of such an event for such a great charity and a great cause. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Yeah, and that was little easiest boss in the game. I actually really like because it's here's where we're going into Rapture. Really, you don't have a run until hell. So if like you're on pace, it's a nice thing to sort of collect your thoughts a little bit, give your hands a break. The beginning of this level here is a somewhat precise jump and has that white flash. And that white flash is really distracting and makes it really difficult. And it comes from, there's a white flash in the cutscene after Littlehorn, but since we skip it, it just shows up the very next thing. It's just a little glitch that is unfortunate for speedrunners, but when you have it, that strat without the white flash is fine. But yeah, Rapture is, oh whoops, that's not how you do it, you just run. Rapture is close to as difficult as hell, kind of. It has a lot of difficult stuff in it, but it's not necessarily as like skip or strat heavy. It just is very punishing, so there's a lot of places where you can die and it's very easy to die. So it can be a very difficult world to get past, even though it's not necessarily the most difficult one. Right here, going underneath, normally it wants you to hit a button on the top there and go down, but we're just going to go underneath. Using storage there, because when you jump off a wall, you actually get max speed immediately. Oh my gosh. If you missed the key there, that one was interesting because I over-adjusted. I thought I made too big of a jump there, so I tried to adjust, and I got a slide, which is like a frame-perfect jump. It's how I did that skip on in Salt Factory, but it completely threw me off, so a little bit unfortunate there. Kind of like an RNG thing, because you can't really control it. A new enemy type here is zombie boys, abominations. They have numerous names. I don't know if there's ever been an official one. It might be in like the deluxe edition, but they are RNG in like how far away they'll chase you and if they'll jump. So they can be a bit frustrating, but fortunately there's only like 3 levels where they'll really make a difference. Yeah, I think we're fine with those by now. Right underneath here, we're just gonna make a tight jump and jump over here and jump over this thing. You do not want to go into, that's a warp zone, those are bonus levels. We don't want that. This is any percent. We're going to climb the sides of these, use auto jump to help make it easy. Here we're going to make a blind jump. I think I underjumped this. Nope, that was fine. Auto jump there for safety. You don't need it. Shouldn't do it, but I thought I underjumped it. Yeah, and so, I mean, this next level after this has like it's probably one of the bigger casual skips that you can do because you really just have to jump off of the, oh gosh, I died. You can just do this, you jump off the side here, and it's really easy and you skip the whole thing. A lot of fun. I'm going to try to carry a rocket all the way to the thing. Nice. The way that I did it there probably saved like a quarter second, but that can save up to like a half second or so. And it's also really fun and looks really cool. We're going to get into, right after this level, the most annoying boss of the game. So we're like, what, 15 minutes into this run, the really short run. So probably the worst thing that would happen is if there's a boss that was just 100% RNG and just would kill your run. There's nothing you can do. Good thing that's exactly what this game has, but there's a way to, it's not manipulate it necessarily, but help your luck get a little bit better. So you pause, and basically one of those 3 worms wants to jump at once. Normally 2 can't jump on the same cycle, so to speak. And that was good, a 3 cycle. It's the second best RNG you can get. Now I'm going to have to explain it while I'm going through end. But basically, we pause it, we trick the game into giving us a second jump on that first cycle. That first cycle, you have a 50% chance of them jumping. Every other cycle, it's a 25% chance. So since 2 of those jumped, it was actually really good, and it helped save some time there. That was found in like 2020, I think. So one of the relative new strats in any percent. And now we're in the final chapter of the game already, so oh my goodness, almost at the end. This chapter, unlike the other ones, there's no skipping levels. We are not skipping anything. We have to do all of the levels in this chapter, but there's only 5 of them, so nothing too bad here. But they are pretty difficult. 6-3 I think is a pretty tricky level when you're going for this strat I'm doing. Oh well, never mind. I was slow. I was trying to get ahead of a cycle here, but I messed it up. That's fine. But 6-4 has another flashy one where I'm going to try to jump under these saws a bunch. Nice. Now I have to, I'm going to try to not clip a wall here. It's fine if I do. Yeah, it's fine if I do. It's just like, I don't know, a third of a second slower. But the big part is getting underneath those saws at the beginning really tight. And then sort of the last difficult part of the game, we're going to be doing a key skip over here, so I'm going to like fall down once I get up here. Oh my gosh, please. Meat boy. Meat boy. There we go. Jump to these saws. As I jump, I'm going to go off of this wall. Oh no. I underjumped that. That's fine. But yeah, I try to hit that platform underneath it. It helps skip grabbing a key. Big like 3.5 second time save. There we go. Unfortunate that like Omega is one where when you first start speedrunning, it's really tough. It still is a bit tough as you keep going, but it's pretty common for new runners to just get like hard stuck on it. And now, so we're at the final boss of the game, which is sort of a 2-parter. Right now we got Dr. Fetus, the enemy of the game, chasing after us. And normally it wants to keep you in between these like sets of saw blades, but we just jump over it and go to the end. Which is interesting because you know it's a row of saw blades. So as we're going over here to the end of this, you would think like it's gonna pass through Meat Boy. So like how do you live when a row of saws just passes through? And the answer is this button that I'm on. It gives you invincibility. I don't know why buttons give invincibility. I think I asked this to Tommy of Team Meat before, but I don't remember what the answer was. But I have a feeling they added in button invincibility specifically for that. That's my theory. I don't know if it's true. And this is the very last part of it, so get ready on time. We're like 10 seconds away. We're gonna do like a dev exit almost at the end here. Okay, just being careful here. Where normally you'd go over there to the right, but we just go to the side here, and that's time. Yeah, the cutscene exit is like goes. There's like a big room that you're supposed to go in. and you can just go sort of to the side of it, and it does the end of it. But yeah, that's Meat Boy. Really, really, really fast run.
Shredberg, that was amazing.
That
Thank
was
you so
pretty good
much.
run, actually, it was like a sub 19 or something. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, if you want to see more Meat Boy content, you can follow me on my Twitter or Twitch, and my Twitter, both of them, Shredberg. You also go to shredberg.com and it brings you right to my Twitch. But yeah, thanks you so much, and everybody remember to donate to a good cause. Thank you,
Shredberg, if you have a minute to
me,
stick around, I'd love to ask you a couple more questions about the game. It was really exciting for me. I've never seen Super Meat Boy run before, and that game was lightning fast. You did such a great job showcasing it today, and I can tell you have a lot of skill. How long have you been running this game?
Like 5.5 years, I think. No, 4.5 years. Yeah, the beginning of 2018 really is when I started speedrunning this. It's legitimately one of the things about this game. I say this every single time, but you might look at this and think like, oh, this game looks really, really difficult, so it's probably really hard to speedrun. It is a difficult game, like no doubt about that. Anyone who says it's easy is just being like one of those people. But because it's so difficult, it's actually really easy to speedrun because you're gonna die. Like the world record has 2 deaths. It's very rare for a speedrun to be deathless, and it's not necessarily faster to not die. So you can just like keep on picking up strats. There's skill levels, or strats of all skill levels. It's an easy one to pick up, but like I guess I can say it's very difficult when you get to a very high level, but when you start out,
sounds like it's both challenging and fun at the same time, maybe accessible for folks who are still starting out. What led you to pick this game as one that you wanted to showcase through speedrunning?
This is probably, this is definitely the game that I have the most time of. The speedruns I have maybe like 200 hours in total, where this one's like 2,000 hours. It legitimately I was in 2018, I was like, oh, no, I need to like speedrun something. I've been like watching speedruns or like dabbling in games for like too long. I needed to pick a game. It came out on Switch, and so I just ran
fantastic.
it on Switch. And,
well, once again, thank you so much, Shredberg, for showcasing Super Meat Boy tonight. Congratulations and GG. Can we get some GGs in the chat while we send Shredberg out? Thanks again. All right, up next, folks, we're going to go to Be Right Back, take a quick break while we sort out some of the requirements for the next run, which is going to be starting here in just a moment. Well, folks, I hope you're all having a great time out there tonight. We've got just a couple minutes, so I'm going to take a moment to tell us a little bit more about the event that we're all enjoying tonight.